Deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la.
Dear brothers and sisters, through the spirit of St. Augustine, on this Sunday within the octave of Christmas, we honor the Holy Family of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. This is a true model for all families. However, as we celebrate this feast of Holy Family, let us keep in mind that this Holy Family is not reduced to the triangular dimension of the Father, the Mother, and the Child as we commonly conceptualize it, but rather, in this Holy Family, Jesus is the mediator that will bring about salvation to humanity. But why does the Church propose to us to reflect on the family on this Sunday? Because first, a family is a holy institution that reflects God's love towards us. Secondly, it is in the family that one begins to learn some values that will be useful in life. On the other hand, the readings of today invites us to reflect on important roles and good behaviors in our respective families. The first reading highlights the responsibilities of children in the family, and that is basically to obey their parents. The second reading gives us a secret of harmony in the family, and that is love. The Gospel of today gives us a true model of a good and holy family, which is the one of Joseph, Mary, and Jesus. Before we talk about how they presented Jesus in the temple, let us look at the Jewish traditions and customs in Israel as regards major feasts. Traditionally, there were 3 pilgrimages to be made to Jerusalem yearly, more especially during major feasts. However, for those who lived far away from Jerusalem, they made their pilgrimage once per year, and eventually Joseph and Mary falls in this category. St. Luke in this Gospel reading emphasizes the willingness of Joseph and Mary to fulfill what is prescribed in the law of the Lord, and even they personally present Jesus in the temple when he was 12 years old. They are simply following an example of Hannah, who presented Samuel in the house of the Lord. On the other hand, the Holy Family meets 2 other important personalities in the temple who represents the saints in the Bible. These are Simeon and Anna the prophetess. Anna is from the tribe of Asher in the northern kingdom, whereas Simeon is from the southern kingdom. Therefore, Jesus is here making the 2 kingdoms to be united. These 2 figures reveal openly the fulfillment of God's promises through the person of Jesus. Here we can see a larger family that is made up of the old and the young, in which the old generation is represented by Simeon and Anna, who is 7 times the age of Jesus. Looking at our society today, what is the role of our grandparents in our families? Now let us look at the Holy Family. But how is this Holy Family considered a real model, and yet we know very well that they didn't have even neither a house to stay nor land to cultivate? They qualify to be a real model because they are rich in human values such as kindness, compassion, forgiveness, and love for both God and humanity. And that is exactly what makes a family to coexist in peace. From these readings, we can say that a family of today is invited to have the following 2 important characteristics. First, the relationship based on real love. In the Old Testament, we find the history of Jacob, who lived with his uncle Laban. When Jacob wanted to marry Rahel, he worked for 7 years, but he was given Leah to marry. Again, Jacob had to work for another 7 years in order to get married to Rahel. Therefore, in total, Jacob worked for 14 years to get married to Rahel. Indeed, it goes without saying that real love propelled Jacob to be patient and to get married to Rahel. The Holy Family that we celebrate today was basically operational because of real love and trust in God. And again, worth noting is that it is not material riches that count in families, but they are just means to live better so as to serve God. Therefore, let us be rich in human values. May God give us grace to have this authentic love in our families today. The second characteristic, a real model. In order for the family to stay in love, peace, unity, and to be encouraged, there is a great need for a point of reference. That is why the church proposes to us a model of the Holy Family as the point of reference and imitation. But how is this so, and yet we have so many examples of families in the Old Testament that we can imitate? Let us examine some of them. First, the family of Adam and Eve. But then they obeyed the serpent. Therefore, it is not a good example and best model for families. Second, Abel and Cain. But we know that Cain killed his brother Abel. Therefore, it is not a good and best example and model for families to imitate. Third, the family of Isaac and Rebekah. But for them there was confusion as regards blessings for the firstborn. Hence, it is not a best model for the families. Fourth, the family of Abraham and Sarah that really believed in God. However, one day, Sarah proposes to Abraham to have a child with one of his female servants called Hagar. Even once again, when there was drought and famine, Abraham and Sarah went to Egypt, and Abraham tells Sarah to tell the people in Egypt that he is his brother so that they may not kill him. Here, Abraham lies. Hence, it is not the best model for the family to be proposed for modern families. Finally, we can draw the conclusion and say that only the Holy Family of Joseph, Mary, and Jesus is the best for all families to imitate because it is based on love and faith in God at all times. Let us imitate the life of the Holy Family because there is no family on this earth that has succeeded without prayers, love, understanding, and forgiveness. To conclude, year in, year out, the family institution is endangered by many problems such as divorce, come-we-stay marriage, abortion, etc. We are invited to follow the example of this Holy Family of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Another crucial thing is that the family is the first school where one learns human values and experiences love and care. Let us take care of this important institution in our societies. However, one would say, how good and blessed it would be when we meet all of our parents and children in paradise one day. Let us work in collaboration with one another in the family. A family that prays together, shares together, and solidly stays together. Amen. Have a blessed Sunday.
Fast away the old year passes, fa la 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 la.